Welcome back. A little bit to talk about today. Game against the Arizona Coyotes went extremely well for the Caps, but more importantly, and I'm going to keep her a little bit short today, injury updates to talk about. That's kind of the big news this morning from the Caps. So a little bit to talk about. Here we go. And off we go. Caps hockey review is underway. I've been doing a 2-game spread for every video, and I'm breaking that today. We have a Coyotes game to discuss very briefly. I mean, really went the Caps' way. They played really well. Great things there. Samsonov with the shutout. But injury updates. Some big news out of Washington this morning, and through the last few days as well since I've last been with you. So, to start with the Coyotes, we'll start there. Good game for the Caps. I mean, this Coyotes team has been awful this year. Have not won a game yet, have not looked good at all. Special teams percentages are terrible, just terrible. So, this is, obviously, it's a right opponent for the Caps to bank another win against. If you're Peter Laviolette, you're looking to get your goalie going. Your number 2, I guess I'll say. I know, last video, I got to eat my words again. Damn it. Last video I said, Vitek Vanacek is the Caps' number 1 goalie. He's won the battle. It's over. And then what does Samsonov do? He goes and gets a shutout. Played really well. Stopped some really good chances. Only saw 16 shots, but there were definitely some quality chances in there for the Yotes. Damn. I mean, I can't be upset. I mean, I guess my take's kind of cold. I've been dishing on John Scott all year about his cold take. I guess I was due for one. Anyway, it's a good thing for the Caps. I guess maybe it's a good problem to have. You're having 2 goalies that are going to play well. Samsonov, obviously, shutout, like I said. I still would say Vanacek has the edge in this goalie battle when you look at the body of work over the entire season. I'd say V² is definitely quite a bit stronger. But Samsonov keeping his name in the hat. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Laviolette's pulling names out of a hat to decide a starter every night. Like, it's been just a carousel the whole season, like we expected anyway. So, enough about goalies. I talk about them all the time, entirely too much, so I'm not going to do that today. Capitals. The rest of this team. 50-50 in the faceoff dot. I mean, if you're the Caps, that's all you can ask for. You're going against your old buddy Jay Beagle, who's real good in the faceoff dot, so coming out 50-50. We'd like to see more, but we'll take what we can get. So that's where we're at with face-offs. Ovechkin, Kuznetsov. I have to keep talking about it. I shouldn't say I have to keep talking about it. I get to keep talking about it because these 2 guys, and Tom Wilson too. Tom Wilson has been a very under the radar, very in the shadow part of that top line. Assist streak to start the season. He got to, I believe, 7 games with an assist in all 7. Still looking for the first goal of the year, but assist is just as good as a goal. And if anybody is going to sit here and tell you different, if anybody ever tells you that assists or goals are more valuable than the other, it's bullshit. I'll just say that, okay? Anyway, Tom Wilson off to a really, really good start. I apologize for my awkward pause there. Tom Wilson, really good start. Ovechkin, obviously, really good start. Kuznetsov, really good start. This top line is buzzing right now. Kuznetsov has, I believe it is Kuznetsov, I believe, sitting at 12 points on the season. Ovechkin at 15, behind only Connor McDavid with 16. Wow. If you had told me, for starters, that Kuznetsov would have this start to the season, this hot start, I don't know if I would have believed you. I expected him to start good. Like, he really needed to prove it was worthwhile hanging on to him over the summer. But if you would have told me that Alex Ovechkin, at age 36, would be leading the NHL in goals after 8 games played, with 9, I wouldn't have believed that. No way. The man is 36, and he has had the best statistical start to his career ever. Ever. This is outpacing those early 20s years when he was winning the Hart Trophy. He might be a shoo-in for the Hart this year. Can you imagine that? If he can somehow keep this going, winning the Hart Trophy for league MVP, for those who don't know, at age 36. I don't know if it's ever been done before. I would say no, because Gretzky was really kind of coming to the down years of his career by then. Lemieux, kind of the same story. And those two would be my odds-on guesses to have done it before. So, to my knowledge, nobody's done it before. I could be wrong there. If I'm wrong, somebody fact check me on that, please. Anyway, enough of my gushing. I am a Caps fan after all. I try to stay as honest as possible. I get very excited when they win. I'm disappointed when they lose, but I always try to keep it honest. And honestly, for my thought right now, it's incredible what this top line has done, what Kuznetsov, Ovechkin, and Wilson have done to start this season. Hopefully they can keep her going. I mean, it's a long season, but they show no signs of slowing down. I mean, these three, and Kuznetsov and Ovechkin in particular, have been the straws that stir the drink for this team this season. We're having White Russians this year. We're having vodka. I don't know if they drink beer over there. Whatever kind of Russian beverage, that's the flavor of the month right now for October. The Russians are leading the charge. So, to get off of that, we need some secondary scoring. But Arizona game, great game overall for the boys. Get the shutout, get another win. That's what we like to see. Now, moving off Arizona. Injuries. Nick Backstrom, obviously we know. Long-term injured reserve. Earliest possible return date is November 6th. That would be Saturday. They play the Flyers that night. So, is he going to be ready? He hasn't skated in a full practice yet. To this point, as of this video Monday morning, he has not participated in a full practice. He's been skating in full pads before practice, but that still tells me he is not close. Closer than he was, but still he's a ways off, because I would guess the chain goes skate on your own, skate in a non-contact jersey in practice and get up to speed, and then practice fully before you'll finally get in. Maybe we'll see that progression this week. Who knows? But Backstrom out. TJ Oshie, in the Red Wings game, took a Danny DeKeyser slap shot from about, it was a few feet, maybe 5 max. Took it right off the side of his foot. Full-blown slap shot, no deflection, right to the side of the foot. Anybody who has played hockey, that hurts like hell. And I have never taken one from a full-fledged NHLer. I have never taken a shot that even closely resembles that speed, and I can tell you it hurts like hell. I can't even imagine how that one felt. So, Oshie is week to week. He's been seen walking around with a boot on his foot. If I had to guess, maybe a minor foot fracture. Luckily, there's no surgery usually for that. They put you in a weird walking boot and tell you to keep it, to stay off of it as much as possible. So that's kind of where we're at with Oshie week to week. Not too sure if my injury guess there was correct. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And finally, news this morning, Nick Dowd is placed on injured reserve. Damn. I said earlier, in an earlier video, I hope the injury bug doesn't pop up this year or early in this season. Well, what happened? What had to happen? I mentioned it. Injury bug had to pop up. So, Nick Dowd obviously out for the foreseeable future. Oshie's week to week. Backstrom is a maybe at best for Saturday, and I would guess probably not. So it's a big week. We got the Lightning, we got the Panthers, little Florida road trip, and then back home to DC for the Flyers. It's going to be interesting. I mean, we saw this morning the Caps called up Alexei Protas from Hershey. Does he actually slot in? Who knows? I mean, Daniel Sprong has been kind of in and out lately. Probably hasn't quite had the start that he or anybody else on the Caps coaching staff would have hoped. But that's hockey sometimes. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. It doesn't bounce your way. And you just have to play your way out of it. It happens. It's just the nature of the beast. Anyway, I'll be interested to see what happens here. I mean, obviously, LaPierre and McMichael will continue to play. Sprong, does he get in? Does Protas get in? I would guess Sprong gets in over Protas, but who knows? So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Nothing for sure just yet. We haven't seen practice lines for this morning yet, so we'll see. But big game tonight in Tampa Bay against the Lightning, and then a little trip over to Sunrise to play the Panthers. Two very good hockey teams. We know the Lightning are the Lightning. They've had a bit of an uncharacteristic start to this season, I would say. The Panthers off to a very good start. Of course, their head coach, Joel Quenneville, has resigned over, quite frankly, an appalling issue, and I'm not really going to get too deep into it. It's been covered so widely in hockey media, I'm not really going to jump into it. All I can say is everybody who turned their heads in that incident deserved to be fired. So, and that's what's happened. So, that's where we're at with that. Getting back to, I'm sorry I lost my spot there a little bit. Getting back to, obviously, this road trip and coming home to play the Flyers. That's where we're at. As far as goalies, who knows? I would guess Vanecek's going to get the net tonight against the Lightning. Kind of his turn in the rotation anyway, but after that shutout, Lavi may ride the hot hand. Who knows? Also, one thing very quickly. I guess I can say for the Lightning, they are missing Nikita Kutraf. Surprise, surprise. Long-term injured reserve. See ya in April. They're going to pull it like they did last year. He's going to sit out all year, and he's going to come back for the playoffs. In the meantime, they're going to go acquire somebody else, and then the salary cap hit won't count in the playoffs. Good Lord. I mean, there's been so many jokes about it. I'm like, there's no way they could do that twice, right? But then Kucherov, injured in their last game when they played the Capitals, goes down with that injury long term. Could they really sit him to April? Maybe. I mean, there have been rumors that they're in the market for Phil Kessel from the Coyotes, so the Caps got a good look at him the other night. Maybe they'll be seeing more of him as the season goes along. Goodness gracious, Tampa Bay. Wow. If they trade for Phil Kessel and Kucherov sits on injured reserve until the playoffs, this is an absolute manipulation of the salary cap. And I hope the NHL works to fix this loophole. And I'll say that regardless of what Tampa does with Kucherov the rest of the year, they need to fix that. Anyway, enough of that. That is it's not an old issue, but it's a played out issue. It's been discussed way too much anyway. So what are we looking for this week? Well, obviously some big games. They're kind of measuring stick games. I mean, the Panthers have been really good. The Lightning have been really good. The Caps have been really good. The Flyers have been really good. It's a chance to see how do you stack up. I mean, there's every possibility they could see these teams in the playoffs. So now's the time. Where do you stack up? How do you need to get better? We have time to figure it out. Of course, for the Caps, might be a bit tough. You're missing your top center in Backstrom, obviously, but he's been out all year and they've survived. But now you're missing Oshie. Now you're missing Dowd. You're missing some important pieces. So we'll see how they respond. Also, we're looking for Alex Ovechkin. He is pulling up on Brett Hull. He is 3 goals away from passing him for sole possession of 4th all-time on the NHL goal-scoring leaderboard. We're looking for that this week. Now, in true Ovechkin fashion, we could see him bury a hat trick tonight against Lightning and just get it out of the way. Who knows? I do know one thing. A motivated Alex Ovechkin with a goal in mind, there ain't too many things that are going to stop him from doing it. So that's what we're looking for this week. Maybe some clarity in the goaltending department. Who knows? I don't think we're going to get that. I talk about it all the time that maybe we'll finally now see who's going to be the number one. I don't think it's happening anytime soon. I don't think we're going to get a clear picture. Unless somebody comes out this week and has like 2 straight shutouts or something like that, I don't think we're going to get an answer. So, looking for Ovi to break a record, looking for the Caps to keep her going with a depleted lineup. Maybe some clarity in the net. Who knows? Just maybe. Maybe we can get lucky. Either way, we will find out. We'll have plenty to talk about when I rejoin you again. Until then, go Caps.